Good morning students, this is Joy Varghese from Uncovering Chemistry. Today in video 5 we are going to discuss about preparation properties and uses of dinitrogen. Now when we talk about this preparation, there are two types of preparation which are always given in your textbook, what we say. One is laboratory preparation and another what we say is industrial preparation. Also we call industrial as a bulk production or commercial based preparation of dinitrogen. Understood? That is in a large quantity, what we say. And when we talk about the laboratory base, it is in small quantity or what is small part, what we call, we discuss in that. Okay, so two preparations we are going to discuss of dinitrogen. Then we will study about their properties, clear, and also about the uses. Where is this dinitrogen gas used in? Okay, so we'll start with the first part, that is preparation. In laboratory, that is in small scale, what we call it as small scale, for experimental basis. In laboratory, dinitrogen is prepared by mixing it with ammonium chloride with the sodium nitrate, NaNO2. Clear? In presence, what we say. Both of these things are mixed together. You will get what? N2 plus 2H2O. Now here, this is the in form of a gas, what we get, N2. Dinitrogen, what you call, we get in form of a gas, plus the byproduct is NaCl. This also can be processed and can be used to what we call NaCl. Right? Now what salt we use at home, that is table salt, what we get, sodium chloride, table salt. So that is also byproduct of what we call Tata Chemicals, Tata's namak, what we say, no, Tata salt. That is a byproduct of Tata Chemicals, and that is being processed and it is being iodized. And that's why how it is being sold in the markets as an iodized salt, what we call. Understood? So here also you can see the byproduct is NaCl. This is the main product what we want, by treating it with NH4Cl and NaNO2. Now in this reaction, small amount in this reaction, a small amount of NO. What is NO? That is nitrogen monoxide also you can say. NO and HNO3 is also added. So it is added in a small amount. Now why it is being added, what we say? So it is added in a small amount. What is the reason? Also formed in this reaction, NO and HNO3. Small amount of NO and HNO3 are also formed, not added. Small amount is formed, what we call now as impurities, what we call. So it is formed as an impurities, what we say here. Now they are removed by passing the gas through aqueous H2SO4 containing K2Cr2O7. Means these impurities which are formed, they can be removed by passing this gas through acidic. That is acidic means acidic K2Cr2O7, or also you can write H2SO4 and K2Cr2O7, like this, what we say here. So this gas, when it is passed through this, what we call it as, they are removed by passing the gas through aqueous H2SO4 containing K2Cr2O7. Okay, so this gas is passed through this, these two impurities are being removed, what we call. Okay, now we will discuss about the commercial scale. Just a minute, commercial scale. Now we are going to discuss about commercially, how it is being prepared, or industrial preparation of N2. Right? Now industrial preparation, what we say, so it is through liquefaction of air, because we know air contains 78 to 80%. What is the word? Air. Atmospheric air contains 78 to 80% of N2, what we call. So by liquefaction, what is the word? Liquefaction of air, this N2 can be separated. Liquefaction of air, N2 can be separated, and further purification or separation is done through fractional distillation. Clear? Further purification is done through fractional distillation. Understood? I think you can see that. Further purification can be done through fractional distillation, what is given. So, commercially it is prepared by what we call separating the air, that is by liquefaction of air, because we know that 70 to 80% of air contains N2 by volume, and the liquid air is then subjected what we call to fractional distillation. Further purification can be done through fractional distillation. Now, fractional distillation we have studied in our lower classes, that is 9th standard, distillation and fractional distillation. Now, what is the difference between that? Distillation is used when the temperature, two things what you want to separate, two substances. If you want to separate, if the temperature difference is greater than 25 Kelvin, we use distillation, and if the difference is less than 25 Kelvin, we use fractional distillation. Okay, so this is the reason, because air is a mixture of gases, what we have seen. Is it clear? Now, the next one, what we say here, next one, that is okay. This is the part how we what we call it as make through. Now, nitrogen comes out first when you do this liquefaction. Nitrogen comes out first. Nitrogen comes out first because of its lower boiling point. Here, nitrogens get separated first because of this lower boiling point, and that is equal to 77.2 Kelvin. Understood? We know air is a mixture. In that mixture, oxygen is there, nitrogen is there, water vapor is there, argon is there. This all are the mixture. Out of that, we want to separate N2, and that is done through liquefaction of air. Further purification is done through fractional distillation, and nitrogen comes out first in this liquefaction because it is having the lowest boiling point, that is 77.2 Kelvin. Understood? Now, another way, that is thermal decomposition. You can also prepare, this is one way, one method of preparing what we call it as dinitrogen. Another method of preparation is thermal decomposition. Second method, commercially, second method is thermal. What is the word? By heating. Thermal decomposition. Clear? Now, thermal decomposition, what we use in thermal decomposition? So, we use ammonium dichromate. What is that? That is NH4 twice Cr2O7, what we call. Or also you can use another, but I think this is clear, NH4 twice Cr2O7. When you heat this mixture, you will get N2 gas. What you will get? N2 gas. Not only N2, but we also get a byproduct gas Cr2O3 plus H2. Understood, sir? This is also byproduct what we get, chromium oxide, what we say. Now, pure form of nitrogen, this is second method. Now, the third method, thermal, why? Because heating. Now, pure N2 gas preparation for pure N2 gas. Barium, if you heard about barium azide is used. What is used? Barium azide. BaN3 twice. This is called barium azide. Azide is the word used for N3. What is azide word used for? N3, what we call. Understood? So, barium azide, what we call it as? Azide word is used for N3. This will come in your further what we call organic chapter, amines, there you will study. So, pure, if you want to prepare N2 gas, you can prepare it by barium azide, that is heating this barium azide. What will happen in this case? If you heat barium azide, you will get barium will get separated, and 3 N2 you will get. Understood? Now, many times students have problem of the what we call it as balancing this. So, here you can see 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6. Like this, you can balance it directly, or our what we call trial and error method is also there for balancing. So three methods we have seen. One by what we call commercially, that is by separation through from air, that is by liquefaction of gas. Clear? Why nitrogen comes first? Because its low boiling point 77.2 Kelvin is there. Okay. Then we have seen second method is thermal decomposition, that is heating of ammonium dichromate, what we say here. So in this case, heating it, you will get N2 and Cr2O3 and H2O. Another method is for pure N2 gas. If you want to prepare, you have to use barium azide. This is barium azide. What you will get, Ba plus 3N2. What you get? Understood? Now when we talk about properties, now this all we have discussed about preparation. That is what we call it as industrial and both laboratory, both preparation we have completed. Now we will talk about properties. Here there are two types what you have seen: property, physical property and chemical properties. Now next, when we talk about properties, two types are there: physical properties and chemical properties, means reaction with other chemicals. So two types of property. In physical property, we can write that it is colorless, odorless, colorless, odorless, tasteless, colorless, odorless and tasteless gas, what we say, and it is non-toxic. It is non-toxic, means it will not form any harm if you breathe. Understood? Non-toxic means. Then it has two stable isotopes. This is one property, physical. I am talking about physical property. It has two isotopes. When we say it has two stable isotopes. The word is what? Two stable isotope. Now isotope, when we say, you must have studied about same atomic number but different atomic mass, and that isotopes are N40 and N50. These are the two isotopes what we got. Understood? Then it is very low water solubility. It has very low water solubility. Means it does not dissolve in water. It is good it does not dissolve in water, otherwise we will have difficulty in breathing also. Aquatic plants and animal will have difficulty in breathing. Then it has very low boiling point and melting point. It has very low boiling point and melting point. Clear? So these are all what we call it as, these are all the physical properties what we have discussed. Now we'll talk about the chemical properties. What we'll talk about? The chemical properties. So I'll drop this, you can write it down in your notebook. That is physical properties of dinitrogen. Now the next we are going to talk about is about chemical properties. Okay? Chemical properties. Now when we talk about this chemical property, in your book there are various things given. That is, one question can be asked: write the reaction in which N2 forms ionic and covalent nitride. In chemical properties, question can be asked: write the reaction in which N2 can form the reaction in which N2 can form ionic and covalent nitrides. Okay? Now this question can be asked for 2 marks. Okay, now that comes in which property? Chemical properties, what we say. Now in this case, suppose the ionic nitrides, when we say, which nitride? Ionic nitride. Clear? So ionic nitride, in your textbook, I think one example is given. You can see there. Ionic nitride, it forms ionic nitride with S block metal. It forms ionic nitride with S block elements. What is the name? But S block metals. What we say. Understood? So in that lithium will come. So when in your book it is given 6Li plus N2. So lithium nitride it forms, that is 2 Li2 3 sorry n like this, because then only it will be 6 here. Okay. So 2 Li3n what is given, and with the magnesium, that is 3 Mg what we call. With the magnesium, when nitrogen reacts, it forms magnesium nitride. What does it forms? Magnesium Mg3n like this. Sorry, Mg3n2. Then only I think it will be balanced. Okay. So this is lithium nitride, and this is magnesium nitride. Magnesium nitride. Understood? Now this both what we call it as form which nitride? They are ionic in nature. These nitrides are ionic in nature. Understood? Now we will talk about covalent nitrides. What we will talk about? Covalent nitrides. So that I will write on the top. Covalent nitrides. Covalent nitrides. Here. Now with what it forms covalent nitride? So you can see in your textbook on page number 175 it is given. You can see it forms covalent nitrides with non-metals. What is the word? It forms covalent nitrides with non-metals. With non-metals. You can see that. Okay. Covalent nitrides with non-metal. Now in that what example we have seen? Boron plus N2, what we call it as. Understood? Not barium, it is boron. Boron plus N2 gives you what? Boron nitride. 2Bn, like this. Boron nitride. Understood this part? So this is a covalent nitride with a non-metal, and with metal of s group elements it forms what? Ionic nitride. Okay, so this was all about the formation of nitride. Now the next one what we are going to discuss is about its properties, that is chemical properties, that is reaction with other chemicals. So there are certain reactions, that is with hydrogen and oxygen, that we are going to see in the next part. Just a minute. Now the next part, that is in chemical properties, that is reaction of N2 with hydrogen and oxygen. So that the Haber's process we have seen, if you remember. Will give you what? 2NH3, if you remember. I think you must have studied about in lower classes. That is reaction of nitrogen with the hydrogen gas will give you what? What? NH3, ammonia, what we say. So this is Haber's process. Which process? Haber process for production of ammonia. NH3 means ammonia. Understood? So this is reaction of nitrogen with the hydrogen, what we say. Now same thing with the oxygen, that is N2 plus O2 will give you what? 2NO, nitrogen monoxide. I think this you must have studied about. That is, thus ammonia and NO are the compound of nitrogen with other non-metals like H2 and O2. Understood? So this is the reaction with H and O. Now the thermal decomposition of sodium azide is also given in your book. You can see there. Dinitrogen combines. So I wrote this, and then we will see the next part. The word is thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition. Clear? Now thermal decomposition, when we say it requires 2000 Kelvin temperature. Just imagine. High, very high temperature is there. That is dinitrogen combines. Just a minute. Thermal decomposition of sodium azide. The word is what? Sodium azide. This is different. Another one also we will discuss. Thermal decomposition of sodium azide. That is what? 2Na-N3 will give you what? What does it give? 2Na plus 3N2. What we call it as. Understood? So this is simple thermal decomposition. Another one question, what we call, it is also given in your book, in your textbook. That is dinitrogen combined with dioxygen. Not this. Dinitrogen combines with dioxygen. Now in this clear, the temperature required is what we call it as 2000 Kelvin. How much Kelvin? 2000 Kelvin. That is, dinitrogen combines with dioxygen only at very high temperature, that is at about 2000 Kelvin, to form nitric oxide. To form which oxide? Nitric oxide. Clear? Now this is the part what is given in your textbook, what you say. Now the last part. See, preparation over, properties over. Now we are going to talk about uses. So now the uses of dinitrogen. Okay? Uses of dinitrogen. Okay, that is N2. Now, in that, when we say the uses, what is given, where all these things are used. The main use of dinitrogen is in manufacturing of ammonia, NH3. What? Ammonia. Here, it is used in most of the fertilizers, what we say. Ammonia and other industrial chemical containing nitrogen. Example, calcium cyanamide. It also find uses where an inert atmosphere is required. That is, for attaining inert atmosphere for preparation in metallurgy. For preparation of steel. There are various things are given in a textbook. You can see steel is there in the steel industry, inert diluent for reactive chemicals. So these are used to acquire inert atmosphere, because nitrogen does not react with most of the chemicals. Okay, so inert atmosphere is required, nitrogen is used. Now I think you must have heard about the chips packets are also flushed with nitrogen, right? So oxidation will not take place, means the what I call oily foods or fried foods will not get oxidized and it will not become rancid. Rancidity, you must have studied oxidation of oily foods. Okay, so that will also not happen. So for inert atmosphere, what we call it is, this dinitrogen is used. Okay, liquid nitrogen is used as liquid nitrogen for preparation of liquid nitrogen, minus 130 to 140 Kelvin sometimes it reaches. So liquid nitrogen is used as refrigerant. Okay, for cooling the substance, instant cooling, what we call, to preserve biological materials. Biological materials also, and food items, and in cryosurgery, what we call. Clear? Now in which sometimes what we call it as, some parts has to be sent from one place to another, they use this nitrogen for preservation. Okay, so remember this all things. I think you must have eaten that nitrogen ice cream and all. Heard about that all? That smokes come out from the mouth and all, heard over, no? So there also nitrogen is used to play that fun with them. Okay, so these are all the uses of dinitrogen. Next time we will be discussing about the another part of that chapter, that is another topic. Okay, thank you very much.